Now we're going to dive into...
An even awesomer one.
Well, it depends. At least there's not as much death in this one. But there's still an object that, it causes some havoc. But before we get to the object, let's get to the backstory.
Okay.
We're going to start with James Dean was born on February 9th, 1931.
Okay.
At the age of 9, his mother passed away due to cancer, and he was sent to Indiana to live with and be raised by his aunt and uncle. From then on, his father, who was I think he was he worked as a teacher or something, or a university pharmacist. Okay. I didn't write it down because this asshole isn't in the story. From then on, he barely saw his father, except for when he lived in... not lived in him, because that would be weird.
Lived inside of a dead owl.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, he lived with him, not in him, with him, while attending Santa Monica City College, where he later transferred to UCLA, and his father never really was in his life since then.
All right.
In 1950, Hollywood hunk and bad boy James Dean hit the scene when landing his first gig as an extra in a Pepsi commercial.
Really?
He did.
Like
extra. He didn't really see him. Well, he barely saw his father. I skipped a line above it.
You did that.
Yeah. The next day, they were so impressed that he filmed a second spot in a Pepsi commercial. This time, he was dancing around a jukebox while singing a little Pepsi jingle.
Oh, Pepsi, Pepsi, get your Pepsi. I like Pepsi.
That's right.
So do you.
It's good.
Try a Pepsi, so we know you're not a commie.
Wow.
Well, that's the time.
That was the time. Yeah, it was a Cold War. Am I correct, right? All right. You looked at me. I didn't know if that was approval or you're a fucking idiot.
It was being very proud.
Oh, okay. He's a proud papa. You know my papa, though. So that was the start. That's when he broke into it. He was going to UCLA for drama.
Oh.
And he landed a role in one of the plays. And a friend from that play brought him to the Pepsi commercial, and that's how this all started. He fell in love, dropped out of school to pursue a career in acting.
Which he was going to school for.
Which he was going to school for drama, but he quit. And anyways.
I mean, what? Just skip the middle, man.
Fuck it. I mean,
if that's the end goal.
Oh, they love me. Right. I did one thing in the background, like, hey, how you doing? And they say, hey, come dance around a jukebox.
Oh, they're from New York.
Well.
He was attending school for microbiology. Hell of a career shift.
Fucking drooled.
You got pictures of him on there?
He was a sexy man. It's almost like looking in a mirror. So over the next 4 years, he tried to break in and get more roles.
Okay.
And he, after making a favorable impression on the commercial, that is,
James
Dean landed the role of John the Apostle in Hill Number 1, which is a TV special that aired on Easter of 1951. I skipped ahead. I'm sorry. After he got some of these roles, he kind of was struggling. He was a struggling actor until he hit big. And so anyways,
got it.
I'm just rambling now. I'm like an old man rambling.
Oh, shit.
He had only a few lines, but it was apparently enough for some girls at a L.A. high school to form his first fan club.
Oh.
The Immaculate Heart James Dean Appreciation Society.
Interesting. That's a name.
Can we have acronyms? Can we go a little smaller? Like just James Dean Appreciation Society. Nope. Immaculate Heart needs to be in front. The fuck? So James Dean would then go on to star in 3 films. East of Eden was his first. His second was Rebel Without a Cause.
Yep.
And if I remember correctly, I do remember correctly.
James and the Giant Peach.
And the last one was Giant.
Okay.
Before his untimely death. Now, Giant was finished filming real shortly before the events that are about to happen happened.
Okay.
So that one was released after. He also was the first person, he got nominated twice post-mortem for I think it was Rebel Without a Cause and Giant. So, anyways, well, he dies. Surprise, if you didn't know.
Spoilers.
James Dean loved fast cars and
fast women.
Ridgemont High. What's that movie called? Fast Times at Midnight High. I got it right off the bat, you stupid fuck. All right. James Dean loved fast cars, and he was also working on building his own racing career.
Yes.
After being barred from racing while filming the movie Giant, he quickly decided to race again once he finished the final scene of that movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is where everything turns fucked up.
Of course.
He then traded his current speedster car for a new, more powerful and faster one in September of 1955, early September. He purchased a 1955 silver Porsche 550 Spider, beautiful car, that was customized by famous designer and car customizer for Hollywood, George Barris, and master pinstriper and customizer, Dean Jeffries.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to say, you look like you were just saying something.
No,
Sorry,
I was looking at the car.
Jeffries added the 130 Racing decal number on the hood, doors, and engine cover, as well as the infamous badge that would later give the car the infamous nickname, Little Bastard. Yeah. I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Muted for adjustment and forgot.
What I love is you were like reaching over to unmute it before you said, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, man. Reports state that people close to James Dean warned him of uneasy feelings they were having about the car before he bought it.
Yeah.
These warnings, though, were eerie. I put the two words together. Were eerie and unnerving, but they weren't the last strange occurrences that surrounded this car.
Yeah.
On September 30th, 1955, on his way to a race, James Dean's life would tragically be cut short when Little Bastard was involved in a fatal crash just 9 days after purchasing the vehicle. He was killed immediately, the report said. Little Bastard, on the other hand, would live on to get into considerably more trouble. Little Bastard is a proper name for this car. Yeah. I wonder if the nickname Little Bastard, the car was like, oh, Little Bastard, huh? Fuck you guys then.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Now, before we get into some of the cursed parts, let's talk about the first one. Or cursed parts. Some of the incidents it had after the crash. Let's get into the crash.
Okay.
On September 30th, James Dean, accompanied by stunt coordinator Bill Hickman, photographer Sanford Roth, and his German mechanic Rolf Wuthrich is what I'm going with, set off to Salinas, where he had entered his next race. Technically, first race after the barring of not being able to race anything. Now, his mechanic, Wuthrich. It is a Wutherich, but it has that fucking like little thing.
Hold on. I tell. What's it?
What's
his first name?
R-O-L-F. Rolf. I just should go with Rolf. Wuthrich. Thank you. I should have just used
Just kidding. Wuthrich.
Oh, that's right. The W's are V's in German.
Yeah, and I know that.
Anyways, Wuthrich encouraged Dean to drive the Porsche from L.A. to Salinas in order to break the car in and get used to how she handled. He did, and at 3:30 p.m., he was ticketed for speeding just 2 hours prior to the incident. In other words, he's fucking speeding.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
You're in a fucking Porsche.
I was in a Camaro and I sped, and that's not a Porsche.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, he's going to be upset now.
Why? I won't be upset. It's okay. Now I have a picture of my car here. Anyways. Around 5:45, a 1950 Ford Tudor truck turned left onto the highway in front of the oncoming Porsche. Unable to stop in time, James Dean slammed into the passenger side of the truck, which resulted in the Porsche bouncing across the road onto the side of the highway. Wuthrich was whatever.
That's all good.
Ruth is not his name.
Ruth, baby, Ruth.
Not his name. Rolf was thrown from the vehicle while Dean was trapped in the car and sustained numerous fatal injuries. I'm getting verklempt.
Oh, shit.
1 hour later. All right, back to it. Okay. He sustained numerous fatal injuries, one of which was a broken neck.
Mm-hmm.
The crash was witnessed by a number of people, one of which was his biographer, George Perry, who wrote, "Death appeared to have been instantaneous." I really hope so.
Hopefully.
Yeah. If have you seen pictures of the car? You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I just saw.
So, the fucked up car or the actual car, like him sitting in it? There's two photos you could be looking at. So if you're looking at the photo with him sitting in it,
Just hold on a second. I got it right here. James Jeans, a little bastard.
yeah.
Okay, the photo of him sitting in it with
Look
the guy
how
who looks
high-
like Hitler next to him.
Stop moving the table first off.
Sorry, that's a forgot. Don't touch table. Not touch.
You can see how much higher, like, think about that rolling now
Yes.
with him being in there.
That dude looks like Hitler.
Okay, well,
But yes, I see what you're saying.
stop talking about Hitler.
I'm not. I was just saying the dude looked like him.
I like the camera. It's just you with the fucking mouse up high.
I can't touch the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the car is
So
mangled.
the car, okay, now you're looking at the damage.
Yeah.
Now think about that car rolling with, what, half his body higher than the fucking car while he's sitting in there?
Yeah, it's brutal.
That I'm hoping it was like an instant, like, first roll, dead.
Yeah.
But either way.
Not that we want him dead, but just
Well, we don't want
hopefully
him
it was
dead.
quick and
We don't
painless
want
for him.
suffering. At 9:60, wow, none of those numbers were right. At 6:20,
Holy shit! 960. I think that's 10 o'clock. It's definitely 10 o'clock. And if we're going military time, it's 10 a.m.
oh, my tummy hurts from laughing. All right, at 6:20 p.m., James Dean arrived at the hospital and was pronounced DOA, dead on arrival. Thus begins the curse of Little Bastard.
Crazy.
Despite being a total loss, Little Bastard was, I pushed fast forward to myself. Despite being a total loss, Little Bastard was brought, and not brought, by brought, I mean bought. Bought by Dr. William Estrich, which I also don't know if it's entirely true because another site said that George Burris bought the car and did what is about to say, installed what's about to be installed in these cars for him. So I don't know who bought the car, but
Change
the facts are, I'm going to go with this story. Despite being a total loss, I'm going to reread it too.
Sweet.
Little
I can't
Bastard was brought. God damn it! I did it again. Was bought by Dr. William Estrich. Esrich. Can I just get a normal name for once?
Doug.
Yeah. Dr. Williams. I'm going to go with Dr. Williams. From the salvage yard, Dr. William, then would go on to strip the car for parts. He installed the engine in his Lotus IX, which is either 9 or 11. I think it's 9.
It makes me think of my old dream car as a young child. I wanted a Lotus Elise so bad.
Lotus what?
Elise.
I'll have to look that up.
You do your research. I'll show you.
I'll look that up. So he installed the engine in the Lotus race car, and he loaded the transmission and suspension to a fellow doctor and race car driver, Troy McHenry.
Jesus.
You gotta say his name with the hiccup. McHenry. Oh, I thought you had it already.
They really just like straight up divvied up chunks of that car, didn't they?
Oh, just wait.
Okay. Oh, wait.
So Dr. William Esrich would then go on to, okay.
Lotus Elise.
That's a beautiful car.
Right?
That's a beautiful car. Dr. William Esrich would then go on to crash his Lotus at the 1956
World's Fair.
Stop it. 1956 Pomona sports car races. He survived the crash, but fellow doctor and racer Troy McHenry wasn't so fortunate. Dr. McHenry, first off, I love the name Dr. McHenry. Big chicken nugget. Dr. McHenry would crash his car.
President McKinley. Fort McHenry.
McKinley. Anyways, now that we're done with the mix, Dr. McHenry would crash his car and I see you there. I see you there. And was killed in the very same race that Dr. Estrich crashed his car in.
Oh,
So they both had parts from Little Bastard.
Yeah.
They both were in the same race, and they both crashed their car. One died by hitting a tree, and the other didn't die, but sustained some bad injuries.
Yeah, still crashed, which resulted in somebody's death.
I didn't see that.
I thought you spoke that.
Oh, no, I didn't speak it
I
or
misheard it.
It's okay. There's a lot going on with McHenry that things could have been lost in translation. Shortly after the crashes, George Barish, who, mind you, is an American designer and builder of Hollywood custom cars, as we described earlier. I'd put that in again just to make sure they drilled the point home.
Sweet.
And self-proclaimed king of customs.
Oh.
Purchased the Porsche. He promised that he was going to rebuild it and restore it to its former glory.